Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Theresa Noy coming to you live, talking to you about love limits today. Love limits. Like, what is a love limit? Love has no limits. That's true. Love has no limits. However, when you resist the opportunity to love yourself, guess what? You limit your ability to receive more love, and you're limited in your experience. So let's talk about that. But before I get into that, if you don't know me, I'm Theresa Noy, your radical self love coach, and women who have historically put everyone else first work with me to now recognize that it's their time to put themselves first. So let's talk about love limits. So picture this, Golden Girls, picture this, picture this. You're ambitious, you're hardworking. You're, always pushing yourself to get better, to be better. However, despite your successes, you feel like there's something missing. Sound familiar? Or you might be a woman that feels like you have always had to work twice as hard to be equal to your peers. This is how I was as a Black woman. I always felt like I had to work twice as hard to equal my peers. And even though you're crushing it, you got accomplishments, you struggle with self doubt, with negative self talk, uh, often telling yourself that, you're not good enough. So, what do you do? What do you do when that happens? You hear that noise? Let me close this door. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. So what do you do in those situations, right? If you don't recognize, this is what's happening, you're limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself because you're resisting loving yourself. And if you don't give yourself that love, these are how you limit yourself. These are your love limits. So you'll be limited just in your self trust. Your lack of self love, it holds you back from reaching your full potential. And what happens when that happens? You will find yourself constantly second guessing yourself, hesitating to take risk, um, and you'll never fully believe in yourself, in your ability to have your own back. What else happens? Relationships. You limit yourself in your relationships. So when you don't allow yourself to receive that love, to give yourself that love, it impacts your relationships, personally and professionally. Because what happens is you set yourself up to be in a one-sided relationship where you're giving too much and you're receiving too little in return, right? Over accommodating. I say this a lot. You find that you're always over accommodating everyone else's needs, under accommodating your needs. And when this doesn't happen, basically, you're sending a message that you don't value you. And when you don't value you, whether you realize it or not, you attract people who don't value you either. I was just on the phone with a client, and she was just sharing when she first came to work with me. She had given herself to everyone else. She said, "You know what? I'm going to give myself to my husband and help him to accomplish his dreams, and pour myself in my kids and help them accomplish their dreams." And she found that she felt bitter. She was like, eventually, like, "Oh, I'm just going to be this great mom who helped my kids and who helped my husband," and and she was bitter and she felt resentful. And she had a great career too, but she was holding herself back, giving herself to them and not articulating what her needs were. And so as a result, she started to feel bitter. She started to feel, resentful. And no one knew to give her what she needed because she wasn't articulating it. So she was limited, right? Love limits. What else? You limit yourself in opportunities. So, um, my coach actually just told me a story today about a situation, about an experience where um, she was swimming with dolphins. And it was scary for her, but she did it anyway, right? There was another woman there who just watched everybody have this experience. She was afraid. She was holding herself back. She said, "You know what? Come on, I'll help you. I will go in with you. I will hold your hand and we could do this together." So by the time the woman that she was going to help sat at the edge and was about to jump in and was like, "Okay, maybe I will, maybe I won't." And she was deliberating. Guess what happened in that time when she was deliberating? They had to leave and she missed the opportunity. And she said she watched this woman. She said she can hear in her head what she was saying to herself because she missed that opportunity, beating herself up. And when you resist that love, that ability to love yourself, you miss out on opportunities. Whether it's a new challenge, whether you're speaking up for yourself, like my client was, she wasn't speaking up for herself and articulating what she needed, because you're afraid of what you're going to, what someone might say to you, or that you might fail, or you might not be accepted, right? Without self love, radical self love, you continue to limit yourself and you continue to miss out on potential opportunities. So, I want to invite you just to play with that and to consider, ask yourself, how are you missing out on opportunities because you're not practicing self love? How are you missing out in your relationships? How are you missing out? Can you think of a time? I'm sure that you can sit here and think of a time when that happened in your life. It's time for you to change, to flip that script and start treating yourself with the kindness and the compassion and start building up your love muscle so that you always have your own back and begin to notice. Notice when you're not practicing. Notice and watch when you do that. Your relationships will improve. You'll be more courageous in pursuing new opportunities, and you will give yourself the love that you want in order to have your own back and really create the life that you desire. Okay? It's important not just for you and for your well being, but it's also for your success, for your fulfillment in life. So, love limits. Love limits. Love is expansive. We don't have to be limited in our love. We can experience this full, expansive, beautiful, enjoyable, amazing life if you open up your heart. Yeah, yeah, and see what's there for you. All right. All right, I am out. I will see you again tomorrow. Type in the chat. Tell me what your takeaways are, what you got from this. All right. Bye bye. Any questions? I got you. Bye.